cards are we going to pick out of the Wild Unknown Tarot for this to clarify the shaman? We got 4. I see a projection, but before it goes high, it steeps low just a little bit, and then it has an upward projection point higher than when we first started. So to keep faith in that, that's the message that I'm receiving on that. And not everything may look in place or symmetrical as it should, as it's usually cut out to be, but not to fear that the little bit of messiness of life. That's what it is. Project upwards initially, it may feel like there's a misstep or a weakened baseboard, but trust that it is steady enough for you to follow that line like a beeline path. But exercise caution, right? Moving in haste with something that can barely carry you on its initial steps is something that we need to be conscious of. Yeah. So that is, I didn't expect to read that, but cool. Thanks, Spirit. Strength's on the bottom. Very cool. All right, we're gonna go ahead and pick 4 cards, right, Spirit, to clarify the shaman. The shaman is not afraid of seeking wisdom in its most, in all forms, especially those, I think this wanted to come out, especially those are unsuspecting. Okay, so this is steps upwards. Okay, this also ties into the reading with the steps moving up. I think it's part 2 of a 3-part thing that I did. I'll link it, but I forget what it's called, but I know it's part 2. 9 steps up, 9 of, I want to say twigs, but they're not. 9 of wands. So when we set boundaries for ourselves, we want to look at them as not being limitations, but erring on the side of setting standards for ourselves, rules of conduct. You're setting the tone. Within this forest, the bundle that you've gathered, you're being resourceful with how you used what you've gathered. Oh, information takeaways, the branches, the reaching out, right? So those have been broken, and you're using them, what has been tossed away by most, as you know, a shaman would understand, and we're using those as resources. It's viewing the substance of all as like what's happens in a storm, the destruction, the breakaways are the takeaways. That's what it is. Okay, so we're using that, we're repurposing its value. Yeah. And we get closer to the moon, and the phase here is it waxing or waning? I think it's waning, because it's after the full moon. But the forest, right, it's depicted here. There's so many branches, so many pieces of wisdom, so many things to resource that sometimes we feel like our energy is wasted with the things that have kind of broken off, that seem smaller, but they can still be resourced. There's light that holds it up like a column, that lifts it out and beyond, where we can see more light, more sky, more possibilities, more of the realm, more of the horizon. It's an expansion of perspective. So as we ascend, we expand our perspective because we can see a greater realm of things. Yeah. We said we are going to get 4. Okay, so there's that Shaman. Okay. That's one. The Hangman in reverse. So for a while we've been almost like in a hiatus where we're kind of standing back and we're reviewing things kind of in silence and only social at particular times of comfort, which is like kind of sparingly. And this is almost like the dark night of the soul, being comfortable in that situation, or not. It's not being comfortable and complacent. This is understanding it. Being satisfied with that stage of review and assessment. Like finding a niche or a niche. So we're getting out of that. 3. And with that, we also see that projection point almost going upwards. Yeah. So whichever way you start from, even when you start from the top, you're still going to reach to a greater height than you started. But there's a plummet first. At the lowest point, there's a gradual start. Yeah, I think there's a message in that for, yeah. So if you're starting from like rock bottom, right, there is still, instead of going lower, it's a gradual increase before you skyrocket, get in the hang of things. So it's all about stabilizing your vision, because red is the root chakra. So what I was going to say is that it's now standing on this branch rather than hung from it. And it reminded me of like a very spiritual experience visualization that I saw of a dragonfly that perched itself, like it flew around, right, and then it perched itself like so on a tree branch and like with its wings apart, right? It was very strange. I've never ever seen that before, ever. I didn't even know it could do that or it does do that. So transformation, coming out of the darkness. Yes. But also being a part of it. Like, it's something that you revisit every now and then. Okay. What else, Spirit? Okay, we have 2 more cards to select. Right now it's 29:49 on the clock. What else are we? Going to pick from here. You know, the thing about shamanism, it's not really, how do I say it? Its access points aren't the way it's commercialized to be. I mean, how do I say it? It's not like a vibe. It's something that, how do I say it? Its access point is away from the noise. It's away from the hype. Okay? 2 cards, Spirit. What are we going to select from here, Spirit? To clarify the Shaman card. Yep. 9 of Swords. And the Chariot, but like in reverse. Okay. So the 9 of Swords and the Chariot in reverse. For a shaman, I feel like because I chose these two cards together rather than separately reading one by one, I feel like it has a very good tie-in. The decomposition within death, within its state, and how life forms, and how it still gathers life, attracts life to it, and that there is a cycle that we must stay mindful in, stabilize within. The Chariot in reverse, it's almost like being in limbo, and especially with this wild horse, this white stallion, again depicted. Look at it like that. Do you see the moon on its third eye? So being in its reverse, it's almost like, yeah, the hangman state again. So it's starting, it's that fluctuation, not the flimsiness.
I really feel like Spirit wanted me to give the impression of poking at the viewer, kind of like telling you that it's your turn, or to get going.
I don't know why my phone keeps trying to read stuff, but it's a fluctuation between removing yourself from that hangman status and then being resourceful with that knowledge and like ascending, right? Being resourceful and ascending past the stage of death, dying, handing over what's left of you, like surrendering to that energy. It's not giving up or giving in. It's almost like it's this inevitable state of decomposition, understanding that and kind of reflecting within that state of pain and release. Contemplating on, taking a moment, not step back, but taking a moment within this energy of being to really understand it before you move forward again. Yeah, because this is more like also going back into that hangman state.
After channeling another song, hearing my guides telling me that this was a pulsating theme, which means going back in time to revisit our life events, and it seriously tripped me out.
Yeah, that's what that is. Okay, I feel like we should read Anima Mundi. That is the initiation point. LXX VII. Okay, the soul of the world, all that is. It epitomizes the principle accept all, reject none. Simply put, it is the living soul of the world in all of its multifaceted, multidimensional layers bonded together by loving cosmic forces. Diversity is celebrated, multiplicity is honored, and nothing is denied embrace. Constructs of separation dissipate into the wonderful mess of shared consciousness. Remember when we talked about that Anima Mundi is the link between the literal and the imaginal, the rational and the mythic. It is the connective fiber that makes life meaningful. This card indicates an initiation on the level of the soul. You awaken the unique light within and witness how this light contributes to the radiance of the entire universe. Yeah, what we were pretty much saying there, and the inversion point, right? You will sense yourself as a critical note in the cosmic orchestra. I feel like that links to one of my other readings too. The orchestra and the violin, yeah. Okay, destiny is altered as you hear the enchanted melody of all living things, tending to the sacred details of life, which is when in light. I feel like those last four cards. Yeah, that's definitely that, tending to the sacredness, the intricacies. And then when in dark, overwhelmed by the bigness of existence. Okay. I think that's it. The bottom of the deck, it looks like, is 4 of Wands. The way the sticks are laid, it's like an argyle pattern, diamond shape, obviously. 48 or 38, 48 on the clock, I meant. You know, sticks like dancing to the beat of your own drum. So, but it's like a two-way thing, right? So as you strike your own force, so does the universe, meeting in the middle and seeing that vision eye to eye as you cooperate with each other. So that's home and hearth on like a very cosmic level. That there's truth in that center point when you intersect. Wow, that ties into that other reading, huh? That I'm also kind of embarrassed about. And I think that's part of like understanding and accepting that, because we see 4 again here. Is it 4? Yeah, 4. So 4. That it's like you might want to look at master number 44 or contemplate, like meditate on the Emperor card, what its meaning is, both in upright and reversal. And there's something else to this.
I already verbalized in edits, but being the hands are lifeless. It confirms the universal truth of our individuality, finding our core purpose, and focusing on moving forward with just that, despite the pain that we've endured and encountered. Because life isn't just about endurance. You can deal with a lot, but you can do much more with that than you have yet to understand.
Later, but this is a longer reading than expected. But we drew in a lot of information here, and I hope that helped. Please consider liking, subscribing. If you have a word to say, drop in a comment. I welcome all of that, as well as considerations to donating to my channel. And anyway, so let's go ahead and thank our angels, our higher selves, our inner children, our spirit totems, our cosmic families, spirit, and did I say the angels? Absolutely, the angels. And our ancestry is within here. Hope to see you again. Bye for now.